previous part, I told you how the packets works. So packets is just dividing the data in small fragments, you can say, to perform different data actions on the network. So we are going to capture that whole part using Java. But first step is we are going to check our client is connected to that port or not. So I'm considering here two random clients. I'm not considering here very common clients. So I will tell you what is these things and all the things. So as this is a network security, what we can check, we have to check our client is connected to port or not, or it's online or not. So for that purpose, what I'm going to create, I'm going to create here one class. I already created one project name as new monitor, and I'm going to create one class here as net monitor. So let me check. Okay, class, hit enter. It will automatically create your own class. Now what I'm going to put here, private string. So I'm going to declare here three things: source, target, and port. Source, I'm considering source. So let me minimize this. Okay, and this is my source. So I use shortcut to repeat that lines. Target, port is int, not string. Port. So these are my four private strings, or you can say private datas here I'm considering. Now let me put here PSVM, public static void main. So let me put here main method, and these are my data types here I'm considering. Data, mostly it's private data because I'm not going to invoke it later, so let us consider it as a private. So now I'm using here some command line arguments. To use some command line arguments, we have if. I'm going to put args. So if args, which is basically arguments, dot length is not equal to 3. Okay, is not equal to 3. What I'm going to perform here is I need to display few things here. I'm going to display, which is basically very common thing you can check, which is what I'm going to do is here system dot out dot println. First compile Java code using Java command. So I'm using here command line things directly. System dot out dot println, then use Java. So for my thing, what here is Java, the name is net monitor, class name net monitor dot Java basically, and also Java command. I will tell you how we are going to use here. Then source is, so let me put like this, src source IP, then destination IP, then port. So this is our basic command. If you are not using this, we have to perform these. just return these things. So it will return all the things in the command line if you are not performing or if you are not putting these. So these things are done. Now let me create here net monitor m, or n you can put. I'm putting here n as my object. Let me put m because monitor, so new net monitor. So this is my object. So let me put here class object, and let me tell you this, what is this, how the command is going to work. So this is how the command is going to work, we are going to use here. So I am using here cmd command prompt directly as my direct thing here. So let me put here m dot set source get source. These are some things here you can use. So set source source is very what I'm going to put here, args 0. So what I'm going to do, I'm setting here like my args as not args 0 to this port. I will create one set source set target every method here later, but let me put this first because this is very important. Target argument is 1, here argument is 2. It's like array thing in Java arguments, command line arguments. So it's started from 0 1 2 3, and I will create that part later. And m dot start as my common method. So I will tell you how it's going to work and everything later. So you can perform it later with sets source and everything. So let me perform 2-3 things here, which is basically one private void. So again it's in main method only, or you can close this main method. If you want to use such beautiful things or brackets, you can use rainbow brackets. It's one plugin in IDE. So let me create one private void. Our method is set source. Okay, our method is set source string s. I'm going to create here string s. Now method is same, source we have same. So I'm assigning this source to this, so our set source method is done. Then I need one set port, but before that I need to create start method because I haven't created any start method. So let me create one private void start, which is very common method. It's starting method, or we can say direct method, throws unknown host exception. So unknown host exception and IO exception, which is very common thing, IO exception, because if there is IO exception we need to perform this. Similarly for this start method you need to throws here unknown host exception, and you need to throw IO exception also, IO exception. So now our thing is done. So let me put here one timer. Why timer is needed, so I will create that part in later. New timer. Let me invoke this now, alt enter. So if you have checked, alt util is basically for the timing part, and let me put it as start. So you can create your own timer thing in Java. Always put false here because never stop. So it will invoke this command again and again and again and again, sometimes to check the activity of source and destination again. So it's not like we are done with some part, we need to put this. So t schedule, we need to create schedule. Now it's time task, so let me tell you how it's going to work. We need to create one new test connect. So task, it's very common thing here, text connect. So actually it's test e connect, so basically not. Let me check where it's working or not. Text connect, so task. And it's just because I need to perform it again and again, so I need to use this. So I will create that text task later, which is basically timer task. And the common thing is here text connect, so task is nothing but it's very you can say robust thing to create sockets and everything, ports and later, and binding that part. So now I'm going to create, so let me put here assign source start method assign port. So similar method void set port I'm going to perform here. In p port is equal to p, which I already told you how we are going to put here. And assign target. So again private void set target string t I'm going to create here. Target I'm going to create target is equal to. So now we are done with this part. So what is remaining thing is basically our class, our text connect. So class, which is basically subclass here, you can consider. And currently which thing is I'm using public class monitor, not these things. So I need to invoke that part also. So in this only I'm going to create one subclass, and let me copy this. And that's class. I will tell you what is this text connect and what is the perform. It extends actually timer task or timer task. So I will tell you how we are going to perform it and everything. But first, remember it's text connect task, and which is going to work here. So it's going to be showing me the error because I'm not implementing any run methods here. So let me run one method, public void run. So now you can check it's overriding to this set. So why it's showing me the error set port into string. Okay. I need to change this part, so I will change it later. which is basically nothing but I will tell you how I'm going to put here port and everything. It should be int. So let me put here integer value of which is basically it's going to take the integer value of these arguments. It should be int, private int, and it should be int, not string. So okay, now you can check this value run is going. Okay. So basically arguments is always the string part, not integer part, so there might be errors. So in the next part I'm going to implement this run method and I'm going to deploy this. Hope you understand this. Thank you.